It's with us today. He is one of the baddest promoters, gamblers, crew chief in the no prep game. Coming to us from Wichita Falls by way of Graham, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Michael Poland.
That was fire.
What's up,
That
my man?
was, I am just chilling. Wow. Nailed it.
Thank you
Nailed it.
so much for coming on here to the E's and B's. Like I told you, it's been a long time coming. And this week, well, we're diving into a few things here with my buddy Michael. We got a big race coming up next weekend that, of course, we'll be talking about. But before we get to that, we're going to do like we always do here on the E's and B's. We're going to jump right in, learn a little bit about him, and also ask him those fun questions. Poland, are you ready to get this thing started?
Fire away.
All right, buddy. Hey, tell the fans and listeners out there, how or why did you get involved in racing?
Man, so it's actually my stepdad. My dad was in and out of prison my entire life, stuff like that. So then my stepdad, I would think 5 or 6 years old, he came around, started coming around, and he had an old bracket car, dude, it's insane. I'll have to find pictures of it and post it, but it's an old Chevelle. It's a Corvette front end with a Vega ass end. I forgot what they called it. There's only a few of those bodies. He literally bought the mold from the company that was going to make this. But I had this old bracket car. We used to go racing, and I got into the whole junior deal. I remember we were at one bracket race, and I got it. I saw Junior Dragster, and it was like, I'm gonna make that happen one way or another. Yeah, that's coming. So I actually talked my grandma into it, and like 2 weeks later, I had a Junior Dragster, and it was pretty much game on from there. So I raced all in my younger years, and of course, you get into high school, the whole sports thing. I was in and out of sports, partying, hanging out with everybody, doing all that. So kind of got away from it a little bit, and then just life happened. The whole, pretty much, we'll probably get into everything as far as that goes, but don't want to drag this out too far. But basically, fell out from it a little bit, and then got, last 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe, I started kind of popping in and out, and
it's been
it all happened. Yes, the last couple of years, it's been full steam ahead.
All right, so we won't dive too far into it. If you don't know by now, obviously Michael Poland is in a wheelchair from an accident at a younger age. But one of the main reasons why I brought him on this show today is, he doesn't need the clout. He doesn't need the limelight. But what he needs is attention on the fact of how hard this man works when it comes to the no prep and racing scene. This guy is the crew chief, not just for one car, but for many. He always is out there with all of his pals. And you can guarantee that man, if he ain't backing somebody in the water or out of the water box to the line, he's gambling for your damn sure up there on the line. But what I want to talk about, obviously, your favorite style racing, probably more like the drag style. But if you had a choice, Poland, would you choose front, back, or the street?
To me, it's the front side, the sketchy stuff, the war in the woods, the yellow bellies, the stuff that's been around for so long that it's kind of, there's waves in it. It's wavy, it's tricky. It's not just a tuning game. It's a suspension. Who's got it? Who can put your suspension and your tune together? To me, that is the most tricky. And to me, it's the fun. Now, on the same turn, I was talking about this the other day. It's crazy that we're talking about this now, but radio racing. The gambling side of radio racing is insane. Yes. It is the amount of money. Dude, Friday night we went to Big Jake's race here at XRP, March Mania. At one point in time, I think I had $16,000 or $20,000 in my waistband, and I was the DP man for multiple bets. There was so many people there that some of these people didn't know, and they're like, "Hey, everybody, this guy's obviously not gonna, he's not gonna run away." So. And dude, it was like my waistband was full of I had so much money, and it's that I love racing. But my two favorite, it would be the radial side of it, and then you see, as me and Jimmy Dale, we gamble with each other a lot. Even though we're buddies, and sometimes it's like pass it back and forth and rather the people you don't know. You know what I mean? But
Sure, yeah.
we try to bring that into our side of it, and you're seeing it more and more.
Absolutely. And I witnessed it firsthand when you guys made your first appearance at War in the Woods. There's always been gambling, but your guys' presence there at that line, it just brings a whole complete new atmosphere. And sometimes the race don't even matter. It's more fun watching what's really going on there. It's funny that we're talking that because my next question for you kind of leads right into that. If you had to tell someone who hadn't been to a race ever before, they could only go to one race, and you had to choose between War in the Woods or this badass race that we're going to be talking about here in a minute, Small Tire Gangsters at Yellow Belly, what would you tell them?
We'll see. And I mean, I'm biased because it's me. Like the Small Tire Gangsters is me. That's that's Yellow. You don't. There's no vibe like Yellow Belly, but there's also no war. Like nothing like War in the Woods. Like you're not gonna see people. It's like at Yellow Belly. There's people on the cages. Like there's people. If you're racing through a cage, that's the only way I can explain it. And then War in the Woods is the only racetrack I've ever been to that you look over and there's literally like people have made the trees into stands. Like
Yep.
there's people sitting 10 foot off the ground in trees everywhere. Like there's, but I mean,
Definitely two of the
yeah,
best in two different environments for sure. I'm super excited. I'll be making my first appearance there at Yellow Belly so I can get my judgment because I know what War in the Woods is all about, but I've been dying to get to that race. And we'll be talking about that here in a second. But let's switch pace here, Poland. Let's get to some of those E's and B's. Make sure you guys are checking us out everywhere we listen, easeandbees.org, and give us that support there at easeandbees.myshopify for the baddest podcast merch in the game. All right, Poland, how about this famous E's and B's question here for you? You're having breakfast with any celebrity or race car driver out there. Who are you having it with, and what are you having?
I'm easy waffles, pancakes. Like pancakes. Well, my stuff's easy. I'm not a big egg fan, so
All right, all
this
right.
is that's just yeah,
The
like
sweet stuff, the sweet stuff. All
yeah.
right, what the hell? I
But
like it too.
but man, like somebody like John Force would probably be the one for me. Like I grew up, that was like my
That was
idol
your
growing
guy?
up.
Okay.
That was my guy, and it's just like I think the stories, like there's him and Clay Millican, like those are two people that, like Clay Millican watching Jimmy Dale to me is insane. Like he knows who I am. You know what I
Mark my
mean?
words, we're going to catch him in our territory very soon. It's coming. It's coming.
And yes, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen in a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's
It's yeah, and
um
hopefully that'd be cool. All right,
well
how about
yes.
this? If you was racing and the race required walk-up music, kind of like you have when you're playing baseball and you're announced to come hit, but now you're coming in the water box. What song will be playing when Poland came in the water box?
Um oh that's I go back and forth I've said this between two Kid Rock songs that it's always stuck with me. You've never met a mother blank like me, and the roller. Or no, the other one is the Limp Bizkit. Was it Limp Bizkit Rolling?
Okay, okay.
Undertaker used to come back to him back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like
yep.
The American badass version of Undertaker.
Man,
So
we'll intertwine that here in just a minute. Got a couple more before we get
cool.
back to some more of that racing talk. And then, of course, here at the end, we're going to be promoting that race coming up next week. And also, Paul will be sharing his sponsors. Let me ask you this, though, buddy. The story of your life's coming out tomorrow at the movie theater. Who's playing you in the movie, and what's the name of it?
Dang. Anybody that could play me. Like a famous wise or just
Yeah,
anybody?
yeah,
Like
yeah. A famous actor.
okay, a famous actor. I would say Ryan Reynolds probably. And how effed up is effed up?
Nice. I like it. I like it. I love it. All right. One last fun one here. We're going to intertwine one of my favorite sports, the pro wrestling world. Hey, you and Jimmy Dale are tag team partners and
Yeah.
about to go for the tag team championship. What's the name of your tag team?
Beauty and the Beast. And I'm not the Beast.
I love it. I love it. We don't even need to ask who is who. All right, let's get back
Yeah.
into a little bit more racing talk before I turn the tables over here to Poland. I got to ask you, what is your biggest pet peeve in no prep racing?
Traction compound.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this: not to stir any pots, ruffle any feathers, but for instance, something like the $50,000 race that's coming up. We know it's not really a no prep race.
Right.
I know Happy has some things going on this weekend down there at Decker Boys. It's a no prep race, but there could be prep. What is that kind of what you're getting at?
No, I'm the man, I'm not trying to target anybody
No, me
specifically when I
neither. No,
say this, but it's
absolutely.
like,
I
but
love
yeah,
everybody out
right.
there. You know that.
But it's to me the backsides and stuff like that. Do I understand why they pour the pimp juices and the skinnies and this and
Oh,
this and
okay.
you know
Gotcha.
we have so many different brands out here now.
Gotcha. And we
And
all
dude,
know when they all layer on top of each other, it's a gourmet, all that good shit. I get what you're saying.
yeah, and I'm almost like I have friends that have prep companies. I love them all to death, but it's like for me, my pet peeve because it makes a teetotal mess on the cars. I'm biased because I roll through it and then I have it
It's on your
everywhere.
hands. I got you.
Dude, one time at Yellow Belly, somebody poured it in the burnout box and I didn't
man.
know, and I rolled through it, dude. I had cobwebs like 20 foot above me of all
Oh
this.
my
Like
god.
it was on my face. It was like so, but yeah, I think water does the trick anywhere you go, pretty much. Like I know there's a time and place for it, the street stuff like that.
Right.
I do get it. But I feel like if no preps, there's so many different companies out here, and everybody is kind of like doing sponsors and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do certain events that are just set to certain brands
Yeah.
of the prep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they sponsor this, and if the racers
And no matter what racer sponsor too, that's a great idea because
well, and
it not only
it's
brings attraction to their company, it
right.
spreads the word about their product as well. But they're offering up a purse to win their race.
And I get it. Like everybody's not on the same thing. They're loyal to certain people, whatever the situation may be. But at the end of the day, like I think it makes for better racing when you're not gumming up and making like the stuff makes a mess. If you have a big race with a lot of cars and there's all that traction, like the pad for instance,
right,
there was so much prep. It was rolling into.
You were almost better off going around that by the end. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, and like a couple races they like started almost over the finish line, like before the finish line, because the prep had rolled so far like there was so much prep there you couldn't back up any further.
Yeah, I get it. I definitely understand. Obviously, if it was a perfect world, what would it be? But let me ask you just a couple more before we get to the last thing here. I know this. You're one hell of a gambler when you're at the racetrack, but tell the fans and listeners out there what to date has been probably the biggest gamble hit you've made.
Dude, the one that was like unexpected was Lore in the Woods last year. Like I'll tell everybody, I went up there with $3,500. I came home with over 12 grand.
Shh.
Like
then racers are gonna be pissed. That's badass, and that's why you're one of the best, though. There's a reason behind it. You know what you're doing. Like you said, it is fun sometimes to pass along with friends and gamble with friends, keep that competitive spirit. But man, when it comes down to it, dude, I just love to sit back and watch you do your thing because no matter if you might lose, you're always going to be coming out on top. And that's what I've seen here in the future so far with Poland. Hey, I got one last question to get to you before I turn the tables over to you and we kind of wrap this thing up, Poland. How about this? When it's all said and done, what do you want the Michael Poland legacy to be?
Dude, I'm just having fun. Like to me, I had fun. I was laughing, smiling. You know what I mean? Like you see me in almost every picture and I'm flipping somebody off. Like that is everybody knows me. That's my signature. I'm just
love it. Cars backing up in the box on the other side, the other lane. I love it.
Yeah, like some of these people I know them. I've done it to people I don't know. Like I pull my, whoever I'm like, and I'm just, I give them the bird across the thing. Like, and it's just like it's not offensive. Like it's not. I tell you, if I do that to you, like I'm, I try to lighten the mood before every serious situation. Like when I get it, it's all serious. Like there's lives at hands and all of that. But it's
Right.
also like,
Money on the line. Yeah, yeah.
like it's almost like a reminder of like, don't do no stupid shit. Like this is really
Yep.
we
Yep. Come
can
come back to where we're at and all that. Yeah, exactly.
right come back, have fun with this. Come, like it's like,
Yep.
yeah, you want to win, you want to do this, but like don't hurt yourself or don't hurt somebody else. Like remember, it's not as serious as it seems. I guess you should say.
Absolutely. That and that goes without unspoken. It's very, very cool that what you do out there. It does not go unseen. Once again, the whole reason why I got you on this podcast is the appreciation, the hard work that Michael Pollan puts in each and every time he's out on either a track, a street, or anything when it comes down to racing. And of course, for his people, make sure you guys go check him out. Before we get out of here, Pollan, though, a couple things I want to touch on. Make sure you guys go check out Michael Pollan. Was interviewed by Forever Grudge. Shout out to Forever Grudge. I'm getting goosebumps right now just even thinking about the interview. Probably one of the coolest interviews I've seen all year long. It dives into a lot more than what we talked about here. His whole life story, why he's in the wheelchair. If you want to find that out, make sure you guys go support our buddy Forever Grudge on that badass interview. And also, I want to touch on next week's coming up. It's going to be one of the biggest, baddest races in Texas it's ever seen. But before we get out of here, I'm going to turn the table over here to Paul, and he's going to tell you a little bit about that and all of his sponsors. Also, shout out to Nitrous Express for all that they do in the no prep game. The floor is yours, my friend.
Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean next weekend we're like 10 days away, 9 days away, something like that. I lose count at some point. It's a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? You asked me about legacy earlier, you know what I mean? And that, like, that's been my whole thing. Like, not just myself, I have to include Jimmy Dale, you know what I mean? Like that, we are business partners, 50-50 down the middle. We own all of that. And it's, we put in a lot of time, effort, money, all of this stuff. You know what I mean? We came up with the chains, like that was a hit,
It's all been a hit. Look at that
like
chain. Yep.
Yeah, like I've got, these are the trophies. So we wear them for promotion. You know what I mean? We're literally promoting every single day. It looks cool. People ask us questions. But Small Tire Gangsters, dude, you don't get any more gangster than Yellow Belly. Like the place is known. Like you ask anybody about Yellow Belly and they're like, I would never go there. Or I've heard horrible things about that place. You know what I mean? And it's back in the day. Yes. Like it was in the ghetto part of town and all of that stuff. And it's still today, you see crazy stuff come out of there. But when you get 4,000, 3,500, 4,000, 5,000 people in one vicinity and there's alcohol involved, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where it's at. It doesn't even have to be Yellow Belly. Things are going to happen. And that's what we try to that's our thing is we try to let everybody come in, have fun. And the prices are a little bit higher than normal. Than your normal night at Yellow Belly. They charge $10 a person to get in. Sure. So it's like anybody comes in. On our stuff, we charge 30 or 40 for the weekend.
It's well worth it. Trust me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So we try to cut out a little bit of the stuff that, the people that are just coming to party, if you will. Right. So just want everybody to have safe, fun, Absolutely. All of that stuff. There's a lot of stuff there. Like last year, there was all kinds of crazy stuff that happened. We showed up and there was like, there was a car missing and we're like, how did this happen? Like luckily it was all figured out, but you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, but it's literally the nature of Yellow Belly. It's amazing atmosphere. There's nothing like it on them playing it. Like
it's gonna be badass.
I get goosebumps talking about it. But yeah, Small Tire Gangsters, April 12th and 13th. We will be there partying. I can't wait to see you.
You bet. I cannot wait. Before we get out of here, Pollan, you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors out there? Make sure you guys check all his sponsors out.
Dude, I have so many. Like I'm going to have to pull up my phone. Like me personal, like I have several, like Nitrous Express, Ashburn and Fisher, construction. Those dudes have all those are obviously the two things. 10 Soldiers. Shout out to my dogs at 10 Soldiers. Limpy, Happy, all those guys. Everybody that just supports. It's that on
Absolutely.
my small tire gangster sponsors though, man. Ask Vernon Fisher again. Forced Performance Turbos. Rise Local, Strange Engineering, 10 Soldiers, Accelerated Racing Solution, Iski Cams, Nitrous Express, Vickers Performance, Texas Racing Channel, Woody's Auto Performance, Jeff Thomas, TRS, Sticky Icky, Racers Club, Raft Motorsports, Easy Bells Bondsman, Circle D. Like all of those companies are making this possible for us to have a banger event next weekend.
I cannot
And as
wait.
a,
It's going to be
it
a
is
great time, my man. I thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure having you here on the E's and B's. And I guarantee you this will not be the last time. But until next week, folks, make sure you guys go check him out. Support all the No Prep family that we support here at the E's and B's. And make sure you guys go give Poland some love. But until then, coming to us from Wichita Falls by way of Graham, Texas. I give to you, Michael Poland. Thanks, my man.
always, buddy.